talk about DRAD or DigiRad Corporation on December 31st. So what happened was, for me, I entered this trade because of Super Trend, and it worked out really nicely. That's not the only reason. I actually had some crappy trades. I'm still holding onto them. I'm back. Whoa, they're actually going up. What the heck? What the heck? Sweet. Yes. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. Yeah. So really, that's sweet. Nice. Okay. I mean, like I'm looking at EBON. I knew it was gonna go up, but I mean, I didn't expect it to go up that fast. Cool. Anyways, so yeah. So I had made two trades. I wasn't really happy about them. It was ISNS and EBON, and I was like getting angry. So I kind of went double or nothing. I bet twice as much as I normally bet, and I bet it on DRAD. And the reason I did that was because Super Trend looked really good. So my Super Trend indicator was this indicator is a leading indicator, so it predicts explosive stocks. So what it did, and it's kind of like freaky because like it already looked like it was really high, but then because I had Super Trend, I knew that it could go higher. So what happened was it started to jump up, and I was like, you know what, I better grab it now before it jumps up any higher. So I grabbed it at 315 right there, and then it flew down. And then I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh no, maybe it's not going to work. And I drew this trend line because I like to draw trend lines because like this is technically a breakout, a bearish breakout for me. And I was like, okay, I could just accept the small loss because I mean it didn't fall that much, and I could still recoup. It also went back to like 3.15 eventually, but it was like this isn't a short time. This is like from 350 from when I bought it over here at 204. Okay, so I'm just like watching the stock. I'm watching stock. I haven't set any alerts or anything like that, although I'm thinking of creating something like that. But anyways, I mean I don't have to create anything. That you can just add an alert. But moving on, so I bought it here at 2 o'clock, and then I had to wait until nearly 4 o'clock for it to like, I mean, it went up to 351. It started to explode up. Okay, so I mean, it looks slow. I mean, and not it looks slow, but like when you look at it in hindsight, when you look at everything in hindsight, it's much faster. So that actually caused me to sell earlier and take profit. And so that's why I sold earlier. But other than that, I had the perfect entry point more or less. So I got in at 315 and it started to jump up at the same price. And then after it went up, what I could have done is I could have used my Crossel toolbox and set it to either 2 and 2, or I personally like to go 4 and 4 so that I can, like, I prefer to like have it more sensitive. That's just my preference for a stock that's very volatile. So in this case, it was very volatile. It went over here, boom, started to go up, and it tells me to buy at 315, or yeah, pretty much 315, and then sell at 419. So it's a nice, nice. It's roughly like 40% rise. It's not quite, but it's roughly. So the indicator, the cross toolbox would have told me to sell. This guy would have told me to buy and sell and buy and sell and buy and sell, and then yeah, Crossel price weighted volume would have told me to sell over here and buy over here, and then I could have sold anywhere around here, and I would have been good. I like to go with RSI and also my algorithmic signal. So what I can do actually is add RSI onto it for confluence. So confluence means that there's more than one indicator telling you like the buy and sell. So let's see what it shows me. So there's confluence here and there's confluence here. So I probably would have ignored these, and I would have taken this, and this. So buy at 315, sell at 427. So happy day, awesome. That's a good trade. Yeah, like I said, I took profit earlier. I was impatient. I waited like 2 hours for that to occur. Another thing is like I had to go through the drop here, which kind of upset me, but yeah, I shouldn't be emotional. Next time I won't be emotional. And then what really you can see like very well that I should have held on was this. Like my eyes weren't doing it. You know what? Like I'm, I need to go through like a whole system of how I trade, and I'll trade much better. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm improving. So, anyways, so this indicator RSI plus MACD told me to buy here, okay, at 312. And then it goes up. You can see it goes up when it's in black. When it's black, it tells me to hold. And then when it crosses the sell threshold, it's crossing. First of all, it's crossing over the threshold. So that's not a sell. That's actually a buy signal. So moving on. RSI goes from like all the way from 50 all the way up to nearly 100, 98.7. And then when it falls over here, this is where our sell signal comes in. So that is actually in agreement. You can see the confluence right there. So yeah, so that's all there was to this trade. And I'm gonna go over some other trades that I did. So for example, EBON. I'm actually curious to see EBON again because I didn't think it's gonna rise so much. Wow, it rose a lot. I'm so happy. So I bought it over here. Let me explain what happened. So first of all, I didn't use Crosswell Super Trend for this. I literally just saw that the stock, it had the potential to go to like 6.87. So I figured, you know what, why not? I see support and resistance rising. I'll jump in. The only thing I was a little worried about, and I should have been way more worried about, was the fact that the waves, like a stock will only wave so much, you know, like on an uptrend. So in this case, it did like, you know, 1 wave, 2 waves, 3 waves, 4 waves. Like 4 waves is a lot. You want to get in a stock at like maybe the 2nd or 3rd wave. 4th wave and at like a near the high of the day, you're asking to get like destroyed, and that's exactly what happened to me. So it went up. Like on the first bounce. Okay. So what I'm talking about is when the support and resistance start rising again. So for example, here resistance is falling, and then support is falling, but then there's a breakout, and this is basically the breakout is the first wave up. So it's like that's 1 wave, okay? So from peak to peak, that's 1 wave. Here's the 2nd wave. Goes down, it goes up. So 2nd wave is generally where smart buyers come in. I was kind of stupid because I came at the very end, and it's kind of like FOMO buying. But you know what? I like to rationalize things sometimes, and I think you should be doing this. And the reason I say you should be doing this is not because you shouldn't rationalize a horrible trade. You should be able to rationalize a good trade. Like for example, let me give you like if you have good evidence, then the rationalization of like making a bad entry buy is good. But if you buy like a stock and it's just going down, and there's nothing to convince you otherwise, other than like for example, this one, I looked at the past 3 months. Okay, look at the past 3 months. This thing it's waving up. It's been higher than 6 point whatever for my entry point. It's been higher than that price like many times. It's literally just starting to rise. It's starting to rise from this point. Like it has potential to go up. So I wasn't too worried about this. I was upset that I got in at a bad time. For sure, it's a little high, but like look at the trend. It's a multi-day runner. I don't have to worry. Okay, next one. Next one. Okay, so again, I'm rationalizing a lot. I definitely screwed up this trade, you know. I bought at 4.89. I also didn't buy too much. That's a good thing to. Okay, so I managed my risk. I did not buy a lot of shares. I think I bought like 100 shares or something. Like it wasn't something crazy. 100 shares, like 100 times 50 cents is $50. Like I didn't bet a lot. So I actually bet more on DRAD, which is good, but I kind of took profit way too early, but anyways, I'm not too upset about this either because look at the like last time it hit this price wasn't too long ago. I am still a little upset about this one. I may be bag holding for like I don't know a year or something, but not a year, but like who knows, like a few months or I don't know. I don't know about this one, but anyways, I didn't invest too much. I'll decide about this one later. Okay, so I'm happy about Ebon. I'm not so. Oh, I'm really happy about Ebon, but I'm not super happy about ISNS. I did hear some people on StockTwits talking about how great it is, so I'll stick with it. IVR is like it's somebody else's stock. I'm just watching it for them because I want to let them know if it actually grows, but I can just remove that because it's not stocks I own. And then CEI is kind of like a fail from another day. TLGT, it did rise on earnings. You can see there. They provided a business update. I ended up buying it way too early, and yeah, this was a crappy trade. This was like after DRAD too, but what can I say? I mean, I've bought TLGT before. I think it's a good stock. I think it definitely has potential to reach this level again easily. So you can see that like normally, I mean not normally, but like past since December 14th, average price was what I just bought it at. So it could very well revert back up to that price, or it could just keep falling down. I don't really know, but this one I didn't buy too many shares of either. So most of it was DRAD. So that was smart. Sorry this video took so long, but I really wanted to review the trades on my own. So, because I know I'm not going to go through them later. I just want to like, get my work finished, and analysis is an important part of that. So I would say to myself and to others, I would say, find a pattern that works for you, obviously. I think a big part of this game of trading stocks is figuring out patterns that work. And this super trend pattern works. I didn't use it here. I jumped in on a stock that I thought, was going to have a bounce play. It didn't have much of a bounce. Literally, this is the bounce. Like, that was it. It was half that wave. Yeah, figure out. So, for me, looking at super trend works. Not looking at super trend does not work for me. ISNS. Had I gotten earlier, you could see that actually super trend worked here. So it went from like thick over here to thin, and it popped, and then it got rejected again. So I mean, it works both ways, right? Once the crossing comes, you can see explosive movement, and then if a crossing comes from the opposite direction, you can also see explosive movement downwards. So that's exactly what happened over here. Yeah, so what you can do, obviously, is don't use one indicator, couple it with another indicator. In this case, I'll use my algorithmic signal because that's pretty badass. Also, RSI plus MACD is pretty amazing too. So like it said to buy here, it said to sell here. That would have been your trade, it said to buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. And you get confluence as well. So I think that's all I want to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you subscribe to my indicator because it really is really good. My indicators, super trend is amazing. So glad I built it. Have a nice day. Peace out. Happy New Year.